Hello, welcome everyone. Sorry for the delay. Once again, we're starting with the games already started. This is Cheese. Joining me is Ray's for info.
Hello, everyone.
Just going to make sure we have all the stuff on. Yep. So this ARMA Team League, we have 20 teams once again. I think we have players and or teams from every, I guess, active state. Still waiting on like Tasmania, ACT, and Northern Territory to get some players together to form a team. We also have 2 teams from Indonesia, 2 teams from Korea, and 1 from New Zealand. Starting off with the first Hanchan, I thought we'd watch our reigning defending champions coming back with the same 4 players, except no longer Shinjin Club. They are now Chunin Club. Their first player here is Soxypox, who's starting in the EC. We also have Riichi from... Oh, I didn't switch over here. Riichi from Prayers for 7 pairs, Lula from Gist, which is our career team, and Evie from Jacaranda Jackaroos. I believe both the other teams are Western Australian, primarily.
Gee.
And I guess as we get into the game, we have a Tenpai from Soxy, Sanshoku only, discarding the East Dora.
I was going to say, watching from Soxy's perspective, I like the decision to keep the Doraton. But I think with this Chi, his hands only Sanshoku no Mi. I think instead of his 2-man discard before, I would have dropped the 9-so pair to keep the Tanyo alive and the potential higher scoring potential.
Mm-hmm. I think Soxy generally plays pretty straightforward. We do see a 7-pin come out from Lula. And we get a Renchan for Soxy. Opening with 1 Dora, 2 Roundmans. Looking elsewhere, Riichi has 2 completed sets and a pair. Lolo with the pair of Easts and a completed set as well as a Dora Roundman.
I like the way that Evie's playing their hand right now.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I would have even just played the 5-man, ditched the 5-man straight away, and just gone full Sakigiri to go towards this Honitsu.
I guess one reason for going this way is that their Kami chart doesn't know whether they're going Pinzu or Manzu or even Honitsu. So depending on how the hand progresses, they may be able to call tiles, they may not necessarily yet. But yeah, with the West Anko and a lot of nice Pinzu tiles, going straight for that Honitsu is pretty good.
That 7-pin Chi was already a tough decision because now with this Chi, the hands are basically Honitsu no Mi, but he already had a really nice shape with the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that could have easily extended, and he could have gone for a close Honitsu potentially. So it was a tough spot whether to Chi that or not.
With the 1-pin draw though, they do get a potential Itsu, which would increase their hand to 3,900. Soxy Ching their Kanchan 3-man. Goes for the slightly more valuable option, getting rid of the 4-5 so
Well, it's an interesting decision for Soxy because he might get stuck on this Khan 3-pin, which might be very hard to win on.
Oh.
Given that now it's become more obvious that Eevee's going for Pinsu.
Oh, I was going to say, another way to get more value is to draw that Aka 5-pin, which they do. And also, Tunkee's underpay and Ron's Riichi and gets that 40 through for 5,200.
Yeah, I didn't see if that pay was once or twice cut, but regardless, that pay is... The Tunkee honor is a really, really strong weight.
Yeah, I think it might have been twice cut.
Yeah. Often, like, when you're choosing between a Tunkee, like a Tunkee honor when you're playing Honotsu, or like, you know, maybe like a 4 or 5 tile Nobutan, it's often better to just go for the Tunkee because it's a tile that no one can use and it's much more likely to come out.
On to Riichi's dealership. Decent hand for them. 2 completed shapes with a Dora. Could easily transition, get Pinfu, Tanyao, pick up another Dora. Lula's hand not bad as well. Potential Ipeiko with an Aka. Chun is offered to Soxy, who passes.
It's an interesting pass. I probably would have considered I probably would have taken that Chun.
Pretty stylistic. You know, after the pun, you don't have a pair. You don't have Doras, so it's sort of really like a 1,000, 2,000 point hand.
There's 2 ways you can think about that Chun. On one hand, yeah, it's only a 1,000 hand, but on the other hand, because you only have a 1,000 hand, you know that the Dora are with the other players, and you've got an incentive to just try and end the hand as quickly as possible. Because if you don't win, you're expected to lose points. So even though it looks like 1,000 on the surface, it's actually worth winning the hand is actually worth more than 1,000. But it looks like it's going to be a good skip because now he's got the 2 Chuns to fold with.
Yep, Tenpai from the dealer on the 9-pin 8, so Sham Pawn. They do see 2 of them. One called, one in Eevee's calls and one to discard. We'll see how players like Lola will react to the dealer Riichi. They're currently Ishanten with a Dora. Did you go with the 1-man Genbutsu for now?
Yeah, Lola doesn't really seem to have much room to fold. And that 1-2 man looks like it could probably pass reasonably safely. This is a tough spot. For Lola, do you play the safe 7-pin? Or do you try and gamble a bit by throwing the 2-man 8-man? I like the decision to play the 7-pin because you've got to respect the dealer Riichi, and even if you risk a dangerous tile, you have an Ishanten that's not really worth that much. So I like the decision to play the Genbutsu.
Yep. Another
So
sort
hold
of
on,
decision
with this
here.
4-pin,
Back to Ishanten.
Oh,
Tenpai.
beautiful draw.
Riichi.
They're actually
But is
Furiten.
that Furiten? It's
Yeah,
Furiten.
so 2 5-pin, 4 7-pin.
That's a giveaway.
Yeah, seeing everyone's tiles, there is 1 4-pin. Oh, doesn't matter.
Still think it was a good decision to Riichi.
Riichi hitting that Urodora as well for a nice 7,700 hand. And a Renchan. Looking around, Soxy's the only one with a Dora and decent shapes as well. 3 roundments.
Yeah, this is a very nice starting hand for Soxy. He's basically already got four good shapes here. In fact, I wouldn't mind ditching, from Soxy's perspective, I wouldn't mind ditching this one so straight away and just force the direction of the hand to become Pinfu Tanya or something like that.
Yeah, Pinfu Tanya Dora. That would be the best outcome. Could even maybe get Sanshoku if they're lucky.
Yep. So that 7-so is his final block. And now it's a tough spot of whether you want to keep this Hatsu or this 4-pin, because the 4-pin could potentially become dangerous later on, but you can extend your Pinzu shape to a Sanmen-chan. So it's going to be interesting to see whether he decides to keep the riskier tile for the potentially better shape, or whether he wants to get rid of it straight away and keep the safe Haku to push later.
Yeah, it goes with the safety.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a prudent decision. I think both options were okay. Oh, but this...
Not the worst.
5-pin.
Still happy to pick up an Aka.
Yeah, and he's got this 4-5-5-5 good shape anyway, so it's not the biggest deal.
Looking around, that is Tenpai for Lolo on the Kanchan 6-0, but it would be Riichi only. Soxy managing to pick the 4-pin back and can get that.
Well, now you've got to play 7-pin now. Yeah. Now you've got a potential Sanshoku. And then Lula had an interesting decision as well. They could have, instead of playing the 5-pin, another option was to break the Kanchan and play 7-so as well. But now they've drawn into a good weight Pinfu Tenpai.
Oh, and there's Tenpai for Soxy as well.
He's gonna
Both
get
players
chased
waiting
down.
on 3-6-0. 5 of it which are in Riichi's hand. Oh, it could be bad if Riichi draws into the 1-4-man Tenpai. But no, plays it safe.
Well,
Oh, there's a sumo.
big sumo.
Riichi sumo, Dora 2, and an Aka. No Ura, unfortunately, so caps that at a manga. But yeah, great win there for Soxy. You know, start with a good hand.
Is this Chanta for Lulu?
Yeah, Chanta's always a bait, right? As soon as you draw 6p, then it's like, well, we're no longer Chanta.
Well, with the score situation, your last place dealer seems like Chanta is the only way to create any semblance of value. So we'll see how Lula wants to take their hand.
Would you have gone as far as to drop 2-so there instead of the Chun?
The 2-so, well, I think the 2-sos. I see what you're thinking, because you want to force the 1-2-3. I think either is fine. It's not that big of a decision point, but I think cutting the 2-so is a perfectly fine play.
Yeah, looking around though, we did see Riichi with the quick pawn of their seat wind. Evie over there has a triplet of the Dora, as well as a pair of their South seat. Unfortunately, one had already been discarded, but the last one is in Riichi's hand. Whenever it comes out, I imagine Evie will...
It should come out soon.
Yeah.
Now Soxy also has a tough spot because he's trying to keep this Itsu alive.
Yeah, I mean, the best case scenario for them is if they like paired up the Dora. Obviously, we know there's none left for them to draw. That's going to be Tenpai for Evie.
That's Tenpai.
Hanchan 3 man, 2 left in the wall.
Evie's hand looks really weak right now. It looks like just nothing.
Yeah, like they passed the first none or something. They're just going for a quick win. That was actually a really important 4-man draw for Riichi. I was worried they might drop the 3-man from their 3-5-5-6. But now it's pretty secure.
Yeah, and I like the way Riichi played their hand. Like they kept the Haku and got rid of the Eitsu and the tiles that weren't related to their blocks. So you could have even kept the Haku for even longer. But now basically it's all good shapes. So interesting Hatsu draw. I'm not sure how obvious of a discard that was, because isn't that 4-pin kind of useless?
Well, you can sort of float like Sanshoku's or Dora acceptance. Like if Riichi drew a 4 or a 5 so, they could switch where their pair is to accept Dora.
Yeah.
So I don't completely hate it.
Well, now
decision,
tough spot for Evie as well.
Yeah. 2-man was once
Whether
cut.
to take the Shampon or to just Sumagiri.
Riichi.
Oh, while we were watching the other hands, although they did get Tenpai on the Kanchan 7M. Oh, and a Patsusumo. Was just Riichi Nomi, but just a Patsusumo.
That was a very important Ipatsusumo for Lulu.
Yeah, it does hit that 40 fu benchmark as well for 2,600 all.
You look at Evie's hand. That's some Sanshoku potential there. And we saw him tank the 9-pin. I think it was too hasty to take it, but at some point they might look to force it once their blocks become more fixed.
Pretty fast hands for, I guess, everyone, I'd say. Lolo with the quick Hatsu pawn.
Interesting 1-so cut from Lolo. I don't think it was an obvious 1-so cut. You could have tried to get rid of all your non-Sozu tiles and go for a more expensive Honitsu hand instead of just settling for 1k. So I think that would have been an interesting way to play.
They are Tenpai now.
And I don't think it's too late to switch. Yeah, I like cutting this 5-man. Actually, Tenpai for Lulu.
Yeah, on the 6-9, so.
Oh, do you cheat this?
Yeah, good win. Oh no, you just draw Hatsu, Kan, and Rinchan.
That's one way to win.
Hatsu, Rinchan, Kaiho. So Lula just trying to get like every Yaku in the bank. And Renchan's once again currently back up to second place already and less than 8,000 points away from first.
Ton.
The fast hand for Soxy. On's cut Ton. But another interesting way they could have played this hand was to drop the 8-9 pin as well, because they've already got 5 blocks in this hand.
Ton.
No, that's a quick tempo.
Well, then, from Soxy's perspective, then you've got to be thinking, what are you going to do if you draw the 3 or 4 mark? Do you take the good weight, or do you try and be greedy and go for Toy Toy? That's what I would be thinking from Soxy's perspective right now.
I would go for the Toy Toy. What about you?
I agree. I would also go for the Toy Toy.
Well, don't have to make that decision when you just sumo. That's the end of Lolo's dealership. And on to Eevee's first. And decent hand for them. Already have 5 blocks with Peiko chance.
You've got 5 blocks, yep.
And nice upgrade as well.
Now you can drop this 1-3 as well. Swap it out for the 7-8 round. Pretty slow, uninteresting hands for everyone else.
Yeah, I'd say maybe the only other one is Soxy's with the completed set and 2 roundmans with the Dora. Nice straight pin draw there as well. Lola's hand also coming together now. Lots of acceptance.
Yeah. So Lula needs a pair in the hand. So I like this decision to keep this pay in case you need a tanky on it, but then now they draw into the 6-man, which completes the head for the hand.
Ishanten for Soxy now. You'll probably see them cut the Penchan, which they do.
I want to see Lula drop this too, so it's not needed for the hand. And that Chun is 3 cut Chun, guaranteed safe tile.
With the 8-0 draw now, they do get the widest acceptance.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting option here. You could keep the Samenchan, or you could keep like Dora and Sanshoku acceptance.
I wouldn't be too greedy here. You're already accepting the Dora because you can just switch out. You can just switch out the one for the 4.
Like 3 of the 9s are already dead, so is the Samenchan actually that good?
True. Well, Samenchan is still a Samenchan, and because it's 3 9-sos are out. If you look at everyone's hand, there's no 9-sos about, and there's not a coincidence because no one else can use a 9-so in their hand. It's always an interesting decision whether you want to go for this perfect Ishanten, max acceptance, or you want to keep a safe tile to be able to fight later. When you're in the mid game, like 2nd row, especially when you've got the Samenchan, which is such a strong shape, I think it's a little more prudent to abandon the perfect Ishanten and keep the safe tile to push for later than to just go max greed, because you're only holding 1 Dora, or the Dora about somewhere else. You really want to be able to push your hand to the end if you face a Riichi. But now that it's the late game, I like the decision to go for max acceptance because it's more important to go for K10.
And kind of unfortunate for Evie. They had like a really good starting hand, like even towards the end of the first row, and then really didn't draw much more.
3-0.
And instead we have a Tenpai for Riichi on the 3-6 though. 2 left in the wall. 1 left, sorry.
This is a gross spot for Luolo.
Yeah, unfortunately nothing stayed.
Not really sure what I would do.
Goes with 8 sir. I think Forso would have been like 1 chance. Late 1
Yeah.
chance.
I like this decision to push because if you look at Riichi's pond, they threw the 4-man Dora early. So from that, maybe Luolo concluded that their hand was cheap because they couldn't make use of the Dora, and that made pushing for K10 more acceptable. So I like this decision.
And they are rewarded with that 1,500. On to South round and back to Soxy with a pair of her East Doras. And immediately comes out.
Instantly gifted it.
Everyone's hand isn't that far behind with the right draws. Like
Well,
Evie's already Ishan 10 now.
who's able to fight Soxy?
They might feel that
Hatsu.
Yeah, they might feel that they want to, because if they just let Soxy win the hand, she'll basically be guaranteed her first place.
Fit Ishanten for Soxy. This is too easy.
Oof, Evie's holding so many tiles that would give Soxy Tenpai. Yeah, one of them comes out. 4-7-man, loose 4-man in Riichi's hand.
Well, we can see Soxy's already thrown a bunch of middle tiles, so if you're everyone else, you kind of have to assume that it's likely that she's Tenpai already. From Riichi is just in a disgusting spot because they've got this Hatsu Anko, but you're just gonna have to throw so many dangerous tiles to even have a fighting chance.
Yeah, Soxy does sumo it herself for 4K all, pushing her way into the lead. And on this Renchan, Evie now with the pair of Onadoras.
Yeah, they've already got some really good blocks.
Yeah, I mean, if they get that Chun Pon, it's going to be a Hanuman if they can keep all those Aka.
Interesting decision. 7-man draw.
I think I just cut the pay. Just keep as wide acceptance.
Can't be that bad, yep. Well, there were some other options. You want your hand to be able to pawn the chun, so I think a 1-pin was also up for consideration. But generally, I like to play these open hands a bit more sakigiri at the start and keep the safe tile for later. Obviously, they're all pretty close, so it's not too big of a difference.
The issue when the tile you want to open on is on a Dora is that it might not come out from people very easily. So keeping the option to just have as wide of a closed hand acceptance is also good.
Yeah, I agree. You do lose that 2-pin acceptance if you play 1-pin.
Meanwhile, Soxy is Ishan 10. But Lola did get Tempai. Dharma's on the Kanchan 3-so. Would really like a 6-so draw for both Tanyao and Sanshoku.
Yeah, I like this decision of Dharma. Many upgrades.
And both the chuns are still in the wall.
Well, interesting decision from Lula's perspective because you're stuck on this Khan 3-so, but are there any tiles that you would draw that would make you want to break that penchant? Maybe if you draw like a 5-man or a 7-man. That might be good. That might be a shape you want to keep and go for Pinfu. But now they decide to Tsumagiri Riichi. They're like...
Oh! Junako for Eevee.
This 1-man looks pushable. I like this 1-man push.
Yeah, I feel like you just push anything with your hand. Like you have all the normal Doras, you have 2 of the Arcas. Like even if you deal in.
Eevee's like, I'm holding all the Dora here, but I'm facing 2 Riichis. 2 Riichis. What do these guys even have?
Yeah, Rach with the Kanchan 7M, which is dead. And Lola just misses Rito. Riichi Sumo, 1 Ura as well, which is nice for them. And yeah, I guess really unfortunate for Eevee for their hand not to progress.
Yeah, it was a tough hand to play. There were some interesting decisions. For example, they had this 5-6-7 Manzu shape, and they chose to break it early. But breaking that would have caused them. They also had this 2-4-5-7 Sozu shape, which could have been the bottleneck for their hand. So there was a decision to whether to fix that shape or to keep it and try and draw around the Manzu to get some better shapes later on.
On to Rach's last dealership, currently in 4th place on 13,400. Lula is Ishan 10 for Chi Toy with the lone Aka 5 Man.
Yeah, also with these type of hands, you want to decide whether you want to fully commit to the Cheeto and just start playing 5-pin, 6-pin, or whether you want to keep your shapes intact.
Eevee is also Ishan 10 with 2 Dora. Can also call for Tanyao Dora 2 or 3. Yeah, here's sort of a decision for Lola. If you want to keep the Chitoi Ishanten or if you want to go for a Mitsu hand.
Yeah, this is quite hard.
They choose to break the 1 pin.
Decides to break and go for Pinfu type hand. And then from Soxy, I think this 4-pin might have been passed too quickly because you had a very quick way to just skip the dealership by cheating this 4-pin, discard your two 1-mans, and then force Tanya. Because you really don't want to just Riichi on that Shampon.
Ideally, yeah, you'd like to sort of progress the game without needing to Riichi and put yourself in a position where you could get direct hit. And there's Tenpai for Eevee. Dharma on the 7-pin 5-so with confirmed Mangan.
I like this Dharma.
Oh, 7-pin gets drawn by Lola but can be used.
Really tough spot because do you want to discard 4-so 3-so go for Pinfu or discard Pei and then have a callable Tanya hand? And then another Sumagiri Riichi. And Evie might be thinking, well, I have this 4-pin in my pond, and I've also had all these 9-pins in my pond. Maybe someone might play 7-pin in order to try and fold against my hand.
I think Rach here can drop 1-man, 2-man, goes with the Wests, which is also fine.
Yeah, I like this West drop. You really need to try and K10 and keep your dealership here.
That's going to be rough to keep their dealership with only 2 draws left. It'd be a disaster though if they get like a 3-man.
Yeah. But honestly, if you get this 3-man, you might just have to push this 5-so.
Yeah. Oh, all gets absorbed by Rach. And looks like it's just going to be Ryukyoku with Eevee and Tenpai. Unwise Owl says no love for Itsu hands tonight. No, we've only gotten Ipatsus and Rinchans.
We're also seeing a lot of Sumagiri Riichis.
Yeah, we are. That also got noted in the chat. But Lola's last dealership here, probably their only realistic chance to catch up to first. They do have 2 completed sets and 2 Ryanmans with a Dora, so not too bad. 3 sets now.
Some decent shapes.
Ishanten. Soxy also has a relatively fast hand. Oh, but there's Tenpai. On the Ryanman weight. Oh, I would love to Riichi, but I think they're Dharmaing for a 4-so upgrade.
You really need to just Riichi this space. Oh.
Nah, this is where you Sumagiri 1-so.
Lula's gonna be really regretting not reaching that.
Yeah, potentially. Could have been a 4K all or 6K all even. And now instead gets replaced with a hand that's not that great.
Now, Riichi here has got the interesting hand because I think even this Ton discard was not obvious because you've got so many Manzu blocks. Maybe you just dump everything else and force a Honitsu because you need to try and get your value. You need to try and force your value in some way to be able to catch up to third or even second.
Yeah, it's sort of like if you play it normally and like even if you get Riichi Pinfu, it's like 2,000, maybe 3,900. It means you probably still have to win the last hand as well. So it does
Riichi
look
basically
like
has 5. Riichi basically already has 5 Manzu blocks already. They've got this 2, 3, 3, 4 shape and the 6, 7, 7, 8 shape. You can basically think of those as 4 blocks. So I like the way they're playing it. Just dump everything and go for Shinitsu.
probably don't pawn this 7-man.
G.
Yep. And they do take your advice. North Dora, one in each of Lola and Soxy's hand. Do you feel as Soxy, it might have been a good idea to just like throw that ASAP?
Throw this pay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, definitely now, I think.
You gotta throw it now.
Like the Dora doesn't mean anything to you, especially when you sack a lot of acceptance on if you throw one of the Tanya tiles. Oh,
Yeah. This 3
Actually-
pin. I really wanted to see the pay discard because you had a really, really wide Ishanten with this 6-man and this 4, 5, 5, 6 shape. And I think throwing this 3 pin really slows down your hand.
yeah, I think even if you weren't gonna chuck the pay, you'd probably chuck the 5 or 6-man to at least keep Ishanten. But maybe Soxy's just not wanting to ever throw 6-man or give North to the Shimacha.
Yeah.
Is the reasoning
Well,
that I
yeah,
can think
well-
of.
Yeah, well, Soxy's 1-man got cheated, and then now she must be thinking, okay, what type of Yaku does Riichi have? It must be Chinitsu, or it's likely Chinitsu. So maybe they can use this pay. But the counter argument to that is you're still in a race with second place, who's not that far behind you, to maintain your first place. So I think it's a little dicey and feels risky to throw this pay, but you still got to prioritize your own hand because your first place is not guaranteed.
Yeah, I think people can be worried, like, if you give her the pay or you give her the 6-man, then, they could win a Mangan. But if Riichi summos a Mangan, that's kind of a good outcome for you. Your second place dealer
well. Exactly.
is paying an extra 2k. Lula is Ishanten. The problem is the 7-man that they need is dead in people's hands and discards. But
Okay.
if they
well,
can get Tenpai,
entering the third row, entering the last row as Lula, you're not so worried about winning as you are just trying to get Tenpai and Renchani.
speaking of Tenpai and Renchan, Rage is technically Tenpai. And I think we should see a chi here from Lula. But the problem is they then have to drop the North, which hasn't come out.
Chi.
Well, they do.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe you didn't even need to drop the North. You could have dropped, for example, your pair of 8-so, and then just try and chi that last 2, 3-so and Tunky on the pay.
Yeah.
Would be a nice little maneuver that they could have considered if they were worried about throwing the pay.
Yeah. But looks like they're really gunning to try and get that Renchan in first place.
Yeah, and I like this decision because even though Rachel's hand looks scary, they haven't played any Manzu tiles yet, so you can't give too much respect to the Honitsu when they haven't overflowed Manzu tiles.
They did throw the 7-man.
Oh,
That
they
got
did.
cheated.
Okay, my bad. Well,
So
in
it
that
was
case,
a bit scary.
you would have had to respect it a bit.
Wrong.
Okay. Wow, Lola has won Ipatsu, Rinchan, and Hote. This Hanchan. But yeah, if we go back to Soxy's decision to not just fully send her hand, I think if she played it just full aggressively, it probably would have ended up winning this hand. But instead now, Lola gets a Renchan, currently just under 8,000 points away.
Yeah, and we also saw from Soxy drew heaps of Sozu tiles and Pinzu tiles that would have completed their hand way earlier. So now it's a bit of a sweat because Lulu is inching closer within Mangan range to overtake.
Yeah, the good news for Soxy here is that she did get a pair of her West Winds, which she pawned, and is now Roundman Ishanten. And Lola, I think, was previously floating a Honitsu or Chinitsu with that first Forso cut, but now with the tiles that they've drawn, it's probably just going to be a normal hand.
Check. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5.
Oh, Paradora is nice.
This is like 4. I like Soxy's decision to keep this Chun. They had the first chance to do it with the Haku and cut this Tuso, but now I like the decision to sacrifice a little bit of efficiency around drawing the Wanso to keep the safer tile in the hand to push later on.
Yeah.
G.
And that's Tenpai for Soxy, waiting on the 4-7, so and Lola draws both. But doesn't deal in yet.
Yeah. Dealing is going to be inevitable here.
Yeah. I actually can't think of a single way that one of them wouldn't come out.
Wrong.
So does get that nice run. And into all lost.
But hang on a minute. Dora Ton pair for Eevee. As the
Second
dealer.
attempt.
That is a potentially expensive hand.
Yeah, let's hope they're not deep in the wall like last time. They might not even need it with a potential 1-2-3 Sanshoku as well. But if we look at Soxy's hand, and especially wide Ishanten.
That is a very wide Ishanten. Callable as well, to boot.
Oh, I'm surprised she didn't just call that.
No chi? Feels like you got a chi there.
Now we want more value.
Read is good, but it might get punished here.
Oh well.
Or not.
We have doubled our hand value by not taking the 4-man. So 2-5, so 6 left in the wall. Riichi needs a Mangan Sumo to get third. It was going to be hard for them without any of the Tons or Aka, but they did pair up their West. One is already cut, but if they do get like Riichi Sumo West Ura, that will do it.
Yeah, it looks tough, but maybe with this Anko in pairs, maybe there's backdoor Sun Anko chance.
Yeah, maybe even Itsu, like here. But they do take the wider acceptance. Oh, there's the
Now
East.
Eevee's hand is activated.
Still Ishan 10. Oh, that was the bad outcome of cutting 7 so 9 so in that order. Oh, and there's the 2 so sumo for Soxy, which we sort of expected with 6 left in the wall. So nice wins there. So Soxy in first place, with 65.7, Lola in second, plus 9.6, Eevee in third, minus 23.7, and Rage in fourth, minus 51.6. I'm taking a look. Oh, unfortunately, the scores. Oh, all the games are finished. So table 2 was the one that we just watched. We saw a very big first from No Flow. Turns out he did in fact have Flow. Nice first place for Rune from Furiten Double Riichi. And another big first as well from Aya-chan from Forever 23. And the last game, which just got put in here, is a first for Ano Ken, plus 66.7. Unfortunately, your teammate Nasty took a third. But we will take a quick break before we go into our second game, which I believe should be this final table here. But we'll just take a quick break and we'll be back. Hello, welcome back everyone. Our next game should be starting in just over a minute, but we can see on the stream right now just all the teams after the first game. Yeah, didn't have a chance to really talk about the league, but for those that have previously played, we have 20 teams this year who will be playing 30 Hanchans, and then there'll be a top 12 cut, and then those 12 teams will play an extra 8 Hanchans, keeping their scores, and then it'll be a top 4 cut. And on this table, we have Tickney in our East seat from Not 2002, which is from Queensland. Sister Pan from Kohaku Jester, one of our Indonesian teams. QKXY from CyberAngel's One Chicken, our one New Zealand team. And then Wildstar from Furiten Double Riichi, which is it fully Victorian? Yes. So we'll be
Jeez, I want to see some more heart, some more play with heart in this game. We saw in last game there was like a good weight, Tenpai, no Riichi, and then instantly drew their winning tile. And then we also saw a bit of too much respect for open hands when we had a good hand ourselves. So let's see if that changes this game.
Nice hand here for our starting dealer. Very wide acceptance with an Aka. The only player with the Dora Hatsu is QKXY. Sister Pan's hand also progressing nicely with that 6-man draw connecting to their Aka 5M.
Riichi.
But Tenpai for Tickney.
That's a good draw for Sisopan.
The problem is they do have the floating 7-pin winning dial.
Oh, what do you do now?
Oh, play it safe. 1-man Suji.
1-man? Well, the thing with Sisopan's hand is you have a lot of safe tiles to defend against the Riichi. So you can play this 1-man. You can play this 1-man, and then you've also got 9-so, then 4-so, and then probably
2-pin.
You've got the 7-so Suji as well.
Oh no, they pair up the 2-so.
But it's East 1. Maybe you can just throw a couple of dangerous tiles and then chase it down.
Yeah, I imagine they'll do so if they get Tenpai. Ishan 10 for Wildstar. Oh, now here's the predicament. Do you just full send the widest acceptance with 7-pin?
I think you should, because we can see the Hatsu Dora is already dead. So if you're thinking about Tickney's hand value here, you just can't really assume it to be that valuable of a hand.
They do play conservatively and go with the 9-so Genbutsu.
This 9-so, it is the more conservative route, but now there's basically no more winning potential when you had some nice shapes that you were giving up.
Tickney experiencing some connection issues. hopefully they're not like connecting back in and disconnecting, because I know there's been an issue with Tenno in the past where if that happens like 3 times, it'll basically lock you out.
Already interesting decision for QX here. They've got Tanyao no Mi, but they had to choose between discarding the safer 7-man, but to wait on the worse 6-man, or they could have discarded the dangerous 6-man to wait on the 7-man, which is safer into the Riichi.
Yeah, I think the issue with the hand came earlier when they pawned their 3-pin pair, and then ended up on this Tunky route. Sisapan 8-so is Genbutsu.
Was that safe? It was risky, but now they
I
go
think it
back
came out
into
from-
Ishanten.
I think it came out from Wildstar.
Yes. Okay, my bad. Then it was Genbutsu, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think Wildstar pushed that one chance, or trying to keep that Ishanten.
Yeah.
The 4-7 pin is still quite live this late. There's still 4 left, now 3, with another one drawn by Sisapan. Oh, and the 3 Sasuji deals it.
Unfortunately.
So it worked out there for QKXY.
Yeah, it's a rough feeling when you try to fold early against a Riichi, but you just end up dealing in anyway. Especially in this type of Uma, where there is a lower penalty for 4th and the biggest reward for 1st place. Is really not as bad to just full send it, especially when you sense that your opponent's hand value is weak. And we saw that the Hatsu Dora was already twice cut, which made it more acceptable to just go, all right, screw it. Like, you probably got nothing. I'm just going to try and chase you down.
Yeah, you have very limited hands that you can win with. So those like edge cases where, you know, you have a very playable hand, but you're like facing down a Riichi or...
Those are always hard to navigate.
Yeah. We do see a quick tempo here for Tickney once again. After the Chun pawn, waiting on the South and 8-so Shampan. QKXY also tempai after the 8-man pawn with Tanyao do Akatu. It's 2 versus 4, but I think the South will get discarded if anyone draws it. Oh, but
Yeah.
the 4-man gets simoed. Nice quick 3-hand win there for QKXY. Makes it 2 wins in a row. Heading into the dealership.
Is this a double Riichi potential for Tickney?
Yes. Double Riichi Dora 1? No.
Wildstar's also got a monster of a hand as well.
Yeah. The Sanshokus as well. Sisapan also could be a fast hand if they can get that Chun pawn. And even QKXY here.
Everyone's got good hands here.
Oh, there's Chinanko. Ishanten. I just realized Tickney just got 3 Easts in a row. Very unfortunate.
Ishan turn for Sisopan. While Star drawing no improvements. That's pretty sad.
Does get a Dora draw here, so just thinking like if they want to keep it or not. I think it's good to throw it
I like
out.
this
You
decision
basically
to
have
cut it.
Tanyao. Ooh, nice 6-pin draw there for that confirmed Tanyao. Ooh, funny
It could be fireworks this
choice
turn.
here.
Everyone's Ishanten. Everyone's Ishanten. With some... We can see Tickney. They've got the floater 3 and a 7, which can draw into Sanshoku as well.
Yep, but the dealer gets there first.
Yeah. Well, now if you're Wildstar, you're like, I've got no safe tiles, I just got to send it.
Yeah, the widest option would have been to drop the 5p. But they go with the Nakasuji 6-0.
That's okay.
Sisapan also calling for Tenpai here for Chun only on the Kanchan 5-0. Let's get an upgrade. But do they want to drop
this
the
double Musuji?
double
Force
Musuji?
Honestly, not sure. This is kind of close.
Oh.
Decides to fold. No help for Wildstar.
You just throw that Chun back.
I think from Wildstar, I would have played the Amon anyway. Got such a nice hand. Need to play it as fast as possible.
Riichi.
That's Tenpai for Tickney. Which weight are they going to go with?
2 5-man or 6-7 so. I thought they were going to go with the 2 5-man. I guess they're similarly kind of dead, but
I'm not sure. They're both kind of dead, but you know that if QX draws the 6-0, they definitely can't win on it. So that was one argument that's one argument in favor of the weight that they've chosen.
oh. I feel like that was a misclick.
Wrong.
Expensive misclick.
Yeah. Straight into the dealer. Because, yeah, she could have cheated the other way and ended up on like the 6-9-man Tenpai. After they get on the 6M. But yeah, that's not the most painful thing, right? She had such a nice hand. And then there was a dealer Riichi and she tried to maneuver around, but kept drawing tiles, which didn't put her into Tenpai, but still kept her Rishanten. And then, yeah, I think like you mentioned, the hand sort of became a mess after you break the 3-4M round min instead of the 8-man.
Yeah, those situations are hard to play. When you're defending against that Riichi, first of all, it was hard to evaluate how much value the Riichi had because the Dora had been seen. But also, when you're in that type of situation, you got to look at your path to folding, and if you can't see a clear path to folding, then that's more of a reason to just push your own hand with max efficiency.
Wait, I think we just saw another misclick from the dealer. They could have cheated with the 9 so for the Itsu Tenpai. But instead now has this.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, they can get it back. But Sisapan with 2 calls, including the Adora Pawn, is Tenpai on Kanchan for him.
Riichi.
But a Riichi from Wildstar on the 1-pin 7, so Champagne. Not the biggest fan.
There are a couple of options. For example, this 6-7-7-8 shape is a great shape to have. So maybe you could have cut the 1 pin, and instead of taking the immediate Tenpai, you could have broken it and get a really, really wide Ishanten for a potential good shape Tenpai as well.
Yeah, with like Pinfu or Ipeiko or Tanyao or some combination. Sisapan did manage to sumo their 4-man in the end for a nice manga. Brings them closer to first place. On to Wildstar's first dealership. Currently at 8,900. So a lot of work they need to do. This hand could potentially bring in some value if they draw the right tiles. Looking around, no one else really has much. QKXY, only one with the Hakudora in their hand, but again, just bad shapes everywhere else.
Draw for Wildstar. If I'm Wildstar here, what I would be thinking about is you've got these bottle decks, this 6-8 Kanchan, 6-8 Pinzu Kanchan, and also this 2-2-4-4 Manzu. At some point, you've got to decide when to open your hand to call and just secure the cheap Tanyo hand instead of greeding for value. So it's early now, but maybe later on you just got to chi and go for Tanyo no Mi.
Oh, that is a really good 6M draw.
It's a good draw.
But Tickney slowly catching up.
So
Now
that's
has a
good
Roundman Ishanten. Interesting decision there for Wildstar. Goes with the 8P cut to float both the Roundman and the Sanshoku.
Yeah, interesting trade-off. The highest acceptance cut would have been to cut the 2-man or the 4-man, I believe.
Yeah.
But this 8-pin route, I don't mind it as well. Keeps the Mangan potential of the hand open.
Yeah. Tickney with a 2-pin upgrade. Or was it Juso? One of them. So they are now Anko headless. And Tenpai.
Riichi.
Yeah.
3-6-0. 3 left in the wall for Riichi Tanya.
Feel Wildstar, you just got to be willing to throw anything here.
Oh, interesting if you go like just wider 6
But now that they've drawn this 8-pin, maybe it's time to abandon the Sanshoku and just go for the highest acceptance path to Tenpai.
Highest acceptance would have been 5P.
Mind this 2-man cut. It looks like it could pass.
It's going to be very
again,
awkward.
we see the doors are out. Yeah, the Doras are out, and Tikni is Tanya Nomi. So if you're the dealer here, you might be able to sniff that out and just be ready to push everything. I would definitely be willing to push anything to reach Tenpai here.
Home.
Force is actually pretty safe. As Wildstar does have the
So
last
it
copy of the
looks-
6-0.
It's one chance. One chance 6-0.
No, no
Oh,
chance.
and sorry, no chance.
Yeah.
It looks it's definitely pushable.
One of the 3-0s gets drawn by QKXY. Meaning there's only one 3-0 left, which does get sumoed by Tikni. Reach sumo Tanyao. No Ura. 1,000, 2,000. Gives them some nice points going into their second dealership.
Sad outcome for Wildstar. They had a great hand cooking. But it was diffused by Tikni.
Not meant to be. Nothing too exciting going around. Wildstar does have a pair of the Dora, but still has some work to do on their shapes.
Interesting decision by QX to break the 9-8 pin Penchan to keep his Tanyao floaters alive. That's a pretty nice decision.
Yeah, but a backfire there on the 2M cut.
Yeah, they chose to fix the pair with the 2-3-3. But that 3-so was floating anyway, so maybe you could have cut that one first.
Yeah, or the 8-pin.
Yeah, or the 8-pin, exactly.
Yeah, it would have been Tenpai for 6-9 so right now.
I want to see Tikni cut this 3-so at some point. You're on Na No Mi, and if you face Riichi, you're gonna be in a tough spot.
Chi.
With CVCQKXY call for Tanyao Nomi on the 3-pin 3-man Shampon. Wildstar's hand is slowly coming together. Yishan 10 with Dora 4. Will she be able to get there before either QKXY wins or Tikni Tenpais?
Yeah, even though this 1-pin is already cut once, we can see it's in nobody's hand. So, and with this 2-pin early cut, it's likely to come out. So, see if they manage to hit Tenpai. But it's already Tenpai for Tikni on the 9-so.
Riichi.
Oh, and there's the Tenpai on the Dora draw.
That's a huge Tenpai. What do you do if you're Tikni?
Yeah, it was also... Oh. Also on the Apatsu. Do they have save
But the question is,
tiles?
can you fold here? You've got nothing to fold with, so you just have to deal in.
Yeah, Riichi Patsu, Dora 3, Aka 2. Luckily, no Ura. But big win there for Wildstar. Direct hit 12k on first place. And finally, Wildstar could cash in on one of her bomb hands. Alright, on to South 2. Sisapan really happy with that outcome. Currently in provisional first. Cheese a 7-so.
Jeez, forcing Sanshoku.
Yeah.
Ambitious decision. Honestly, I'm not a fan of this decision. For two reasons. First of all, it's too far away. It's too hard to force. Second of all, now we can see that there's no safe tiles in Susupon's hand. The first place, and the more they open their hand, the fewer tiles they're going to be left to defend with. But I think, furthermore, even if they win the hand, it doesn't actually improve their situation that much because there's still a dealer. They've still got to play another hand. So I would have liked to take the direction of the hand to either building a higher value hand while keeping the safety options available than just trying to tunnel on a Sanshoku no Mi type of hand.
They could have potentially felt that their hand wasn't that good and wanted to be able to open and call. And I guess maybe with the points being close, they didn't want to just sit back and let one of the other players win or even simmer a big hand.
Yeah. Well, they are Ishan 10.
Yeah. They just have to pray they don't get a 6-man draw. That would be awkward. QKXY, after punting the 4-man, is waiting on the 4-7M, which Sisapan did draw, so they're probably dealing in now.
Not the worst result.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be a pretty close game heading into these last two dealerships. Even a chance here for Wildstar. Who does have a decent hand here, and obviously also has their last dealership.
So what's the rules for all last here? If you're all last as dealer and you finish first, you still have to keep playing?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice 7-so draw for Tickney connecting to their Dora. Especially knowing that that was the last copy.
QX okay there. They're just throwing all these through that 6-man like it was
Yeah, looks like they're brute
was
forcing
Avatar.
Chanter, but not anymore.
Tickney trying to keep the Sanshoku alive with this 2-man discard. Susupon Cheese sees the Itsu potential.
QKXY going for Chinomi unless they upgrade off the Dora.
What about Wildstar's hand? They're cooking another
bomb.
monster.
Interesting choice here. Whether
Interesting decision, yeah.
Yeah, have the callable Tanyao or go for the wide away.
It's not obvious what to do there because with the 7-pin discard, you're probably going to be stuck on this Han 6-0, which may be hard to win off.
Well, if they do draw anything around the Sozi, they can change it to like a 6-7 pin roundman instead. Like this is a really wide Ishan 10 now. With that 5-pin draw. Also 5-6-7 Sanshoku chance. Should just drop a 6-pin here. It's so wide. And they do. QKXY did get their Chunpon and Tunkies on the 8-so Dora. There's still 2 left in the wall.
Characters are praying for no Riichi right now.
Oh, Sister Pan also get their Tenpai on the 5-man. Kanchan for Itsu. And there's Tenpai.
Riichi.
For Wildstar Riichi's on the 5-8-so. Homan draw for
What do you do for
Sister
Sister
Pan
Pan?
on the Apatsu.
How do you defend against this Riichi if you're Sister Pan? You got nothing.
Probably Forso is the safest tile if you wanted to fold. To go with 1 pin.
Mind this 1 pin as well. You got 3 of them.
Oh! Big sumo for Wildstar. Riichi sumo Pinfu Ipatsu Dora Ura Aka Ura Aka Dora, sorry. Ura Hanuman shoots her up to first place.
I would say that was well deserved because you see, Wildstar's opponents they opened their hands really early to just win cheap hands, while Wildstar stayed patient, let his value cook, and then they were rewarded nicely.
And yeah, look how the tables flipped in those few hands. And yeah, now it's just a battle of which of the other 3 players can get a Mangan versus, I guess, Wildstar holding her lead. And yeah, with the rules, unfortunately, even if she wins, the game does keep continuing.
I like the decision. I like Wildstar's decision to cut this 2-so after the pun to keep this 5-6-6-7 shape. Cutting the 6-1 would have been the highest acceptance, but cutting the 2-so is a nice in-between play to fish around for a good weight.
Yep, she has Tenpai now on the Kanchan 8-so. Unfortunately, only 1 left in the wall. Sister Pan's also brewing a Mangan with the West Seat Wind Pond along with the Peruchuns.
Chi.
If you're Wildstar here, even though it's only a Khan 8-so, it's not as bad as it looks because Sisapan is going for a Honotsu, so you would think that they would be willing to discard this 8-so for you if they drew it.
Yeah, I was worried the 8-so might come out from Tickney if they got a 7-so, but
I want to
now...
see Sisapan get rid of this 4-pin. Get rid of this 4-pin ASAP, or it becomes a problem later.
Yeah, they might be like just going full greed on like pairing it up and getting Toy, Yaku, Dora 2.
That's very ambitious.
Pon.
You've got a clean path to Mangan Tenpai here.
Ooh,
Interesting
lobster
pawn.
Tenpai for KXY on 6-9, so they are Furiten though, and can only win on the 6-0.
Sumo.
Oh, they do sumo.
Oh, and they get the
Yeah, the problem is that they did open for that Tanya only, but that only like keeps their third place. When they could have potentially greeted, try and get a Mangan, sumo, or even like a forehand as like Pinfu. But yeah, they do choose to open. So that is a
Jeez.
first for Wildstar. I think that's double first for Furiten double Riichi. Sisapan in second with +6. QKXY third with -17, and Tickney fourth with the -39.5. Are any of the other games still going?
Which Nosty's game?
Nosty's game.
2.
Nosty, unfortunately, is not doing too well. In the South 2 dealership. Well, they are drawing good talks. But
Monster
that
draw
is,
for no flow.
yeah, Ishan 10. Oh, another good draw for Nosty.
I probably would have cheated that 3-pin if I was Lula. Because the tune is probably coming out and you fix one of your problem shapes.
Riichi.
Oh, Nosty does get Tenpai. On Kanchan 2M, one left in the wall. Oh, and it's become Suji.
Fakest Suju of all time.
We'll see how No Flow plays this. Currently in third place, facing a fourth place stealer Riichi.
No flow decides to completely abandon their hand. Which I think is a reasonable decision.
Well, now we just hope that they fold properly. Tumon could potentially come out from Cine if they want to try and keep like Ishan 10s. Looks like everyone's bailing.
We will take a Renchan. We'll take it.
地位
Honestly, with how the hand started, you'll take the Tenpai on turn 7 into the Rikyoku. And nice K-Tent for Sydney as well. Might help them get that first place. I think, yeah, I like that 2-pin cut from Sydney. Very Honitsu looking hand.
Lula already Ishan 10. If I'm Lula right now, I'm looking at this juicy pot in the middle. And you just want to shut down the dealer's potential as soon as possible.
More Mansu flowing into Sydney's hand. Could be a comeback. Nasty does have 2 Dora, but no completed shapes yet. Is Ishan 10 for Chitoy? So we might see them go for that.
2, 3, 4 pairs. So 2
5 pairs.
Shanten, but yeah.
Oh no, sorry, yeah. Sorry, I read the Manzu as a pair. You're right.
本
Could pivot to
Now for
Tan Yao.
Nosti- Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, what do you do if this 5 or 8 pin comes out? Feels like you got to pawn that.
地位
Yeah, 1 man pawn from Sydney puts him into Ishan 10 for Chitoy. Oh, sorry, Honitsu. Not Chitoy. Something with me and Chitoy today.
That's a pretty good weight.
Gee.
Looks like it's going to be pretty good weight as well. And Nossi decides to chi, which I don't mind.
Hmm. No flow also called and is currently Ishan 10. Will Nasty throw the live Hatsu? No. Trims down the Sozu. Oh, this 8-pin will be pawned. There's Tenpai for no flow on the 3-6 man. Only 1 3M left.
地位
Oh, and Tenpai for Sini. And that Hatsu
sad.
that got kept in Nasty's
Oh.
hand.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, but good 5,200 win for Cine into their last dealership. Currently 1,500 away from first.
Yeah, I like the way they played it. It was a bit of a sweat whether that 8-0 would pass, but they had a fighting chance for first. So I like the decision to risk that Dora 8-0 for Tenpai.
There were also some other decisions during that hand where they could have cheated some of Nasti's tile to go for like Chinitsu. But they elected not to, like keeping just their roundman and floating honors. Surprised that Nasty discarded the once cut Hakudora.
Yeah.
He is
I think I
Ishan
would have
10.
also kept it.
Ishan 10 for everyone at the moment. Who will get there first? No. Oh, nice Tanyao upgrade as well. Oh, there's Tenpai.
リーチ
258, so
Good shape as well.
very disguised weight, also, I feel.
Yeah, looks like that Sozu could pass with that 6-0 and 4-0 cut.
Or you're just about to
Sumo.
simmer.
Game.
Uro would be huge for their all last dealership, and he does get it. Big 2K, 4K. Currently just shy of 8,000 from first and 4,000 from second. Oh, look at Nosty's hand with a pair of chuns and four Dora.
Suanko chance. What I see is Suanko chance.
Oh, you see Suanko.
Oh!
True. Nope. We are being well behaved and keeping
Dora,
the
how many?
wide
1, 2, 3, 4. Chun.
Yeah, the problem is even if they buy Mansimo, that doesn't change any placings. But it is 16 points.
That's true.
I didn't see if Lola had the pair of Souths when that first one came out. I'm going to assume not.
Probably not.
They are back in Ishan 10. Sorry, they are Ishan 10 now.
What do you do here? Probably 5 pin. Because you want to pawn this south.
Or you can go for Hanitsu. And you can pawn 7p or 4p.
Now they have 502 blocks.
Well, I feel like surely if you take this route, you should just keep cutting the Manzu.
Yeah, you really don't want to wait on this 5-man as well.
Oh.
リーチ
Alright, Nasi does get the Tenpai on a nice 3608. Now, does no flow go like, I am 22k away from last, and I could potentially get second or first. I'm just going to shove everything.
Good, well, you got to play Ton, and then what?
And then Khan. And then Tenpai and Chase. Sini's in a funny position. Like, more than half their hand is like 2 Sujis. Oh no, there's a Sananko with the Aka. Ah. 360, still 3 left in the wall for Nasty. And there it
Sumo.
is!
Sumo.
Riichi Sumo Chun. Dora 3, Aka. No Ura. But still a nice nice Hanuman to get 12 points to save their 4th.
You gotta pull back what you can.
Yeah, get back what you can. Yeah, the earlier Dylan really hurt. But yeah, nice win for Lula, who we had just watched the other Hanchan. And I'm going to assume that would be all the games. That is all the games. So if we go to our leaderboard. So we did watch Wild Star get there first. Max from Tuning Club. Double first for the night as well for their team. Justin from Lockshitters 3.0 got a nice plus 70. And we're just waiting for 2 more games. The spreadsheet. I guess I can update. Oh no, I don't have the scores anymore, so I can't update. We are missing a game. Well, while we wait for those scores, we can take a look at approximately where all the teams are at after day 1. We have our reigning champions, Tuning Club, back at where they were, at the top. Followed by Furiten Double Riichi, Lockshitters, Forever 23, King and 4 Peasants. And we see that the breakpoint of our positive scores is at 8. So that might change. And then everyone else is negative. We're also going to have the individual scores updated once the stats are done by Totoro, generally after every weekend. At the end of the initial 30 Hanchans, the top 16 players will be invited to an individual tournament during one of our break weeks. So that will also be fun to watch and fun for people to play for, even for some of the players in the teams that might be eliminated, might be essentially eliminated towards the end of the stage, may still have something to fight for. It looks like we are not getting that last log in anytime soon, so we might just end it here for tonight.
I'll see tomorrow. Well, I'll be playing tomorrow.
Oh, you'll be playing tomorrow. I'm sure someone else will be happy to come commentate. But yeah, thanks for joining tonight, Raise for Info. You know, we had some pretty interesting games, pretty interesting hands. Yeah, great comeback
agreed.
for Wild Star at the end of that Hanchan. But yeah, you know, initial stages, lots of Hanchans to be played. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the start of tonight, but hopefully I'll get that sorted moving forward. Thanks everyone, all 13 of y'all in the chat for watching with us tonight. Maybe even while you were playing your game for some of them. But yeah, we'll be back same time, 8 p.m. AEST tomorrow. Good night, everyone.